Arsenal for Atletico Madrid, no. That was a really, really good game. That was a really, really good game. And before this game, there were so many people saying that this was going to be like the worst game that they could have possibly watched. And I actually think it was really entertaining. I don't know, unless you are a rival, that was a really, really good game where both teams were incredibly intense. We were just better. So many good performances. Martinelli was really good today. Zubimendi was really good today. But I have to say that my man of the match was set piece. That piece was amazing today. That piece was our best player. We're actually so hilarious and so good at set pieces that they do kind of feel like penalties. And when that ball left Declan's foot, I was like, this is a goal. And then it hit Gabriel's head and then it hit the back of the net. And I was like, of course we opened the scoring with a free kick, but it's what was needed in order to break that game open. The first half was not even bad from us. I think I tweeted that we're kind of feel like we're struggling to turn the domination that we had in that first half into goals. We had some good openings. I know the pass into the back post that Miles Lewis-Skelly had, maybe just a little bit too far away from Saka. The Eze chance that hit the bar, and then the Rice, next shot that went over. And so it wasn't like we weren't creating chances. We were definitely creating chances. It was just that domination. We did not capitalize, and then it ended up being 0-0 at halftime. But that second half was exceptional from Arsenal. That was probably the best half of football that we've played all season. Some of the football that we played in the first half and second half, to me, was some of the best football that we played all season. And we just looked like a completely different team than the team that played against Fulham, which is not surprising because, again, after the Fulham game, I told you guys that it really doesn't matter how we beat Fulham because the main thing that we need to focus on is beating Atletico Madrid midweek and then beating Crystal Palace. We can go away to Fulham and stink it out, but we need to be on our best behavior against Atletico Madrid. And we were. We barely gave them anything except for Raya when he got bored. Raya got bored back there and decided to give them an opportunity. But outside of that, they really didn't have anything. And we were dominant. I think that we could have made more of our dominance in that first half, but the second half more than made up for it. The set piece, that initial set piece that we scored, the ball from Declan Rice. This is the thing. When people are always, the set pieces, the set pieces, well, then why can't you do it? Go on. You do it. You do it. You do what Declan Rice does. Every single time that he puts in that whipped cross from the left-hand side in swinger, it is inch perfect. And if you have Gabriel in there, he's going to get his head on the ball. That was a fantastic set piece and was exactly what we needed to open up the game because I think Atletico then just unraveled from there and we put foot on the gas. We have to talk about the second goal because the second goal was the pick of the group. The second goal was the pick of the 4 goals. It was just as soon as Miles Lewis-Skelly picked up the ball central and looked backwards and realized that he had space going forward, you just knew he was going to just pedal to the metal through the center, the heart of Atletico Madrid. And he's so press resistant and so good at making those little mazy runs. And once he looked up and saw Martinelli, he put the perfect ball into his path. And when you saw Martinelli pivoting his body, you knew he was going to do the Thierry Henry finish. And it was brilliant, right into the corner, which is exactly what you need to do when you're playing up against a goalkeeper like Jan Oblak, who I think had some good moments today. That goal was fantastic. Fantastique. It was amazing. Literally, that goal was it was perfection. And it was just individual brilliance from Miles Lewis-Skelly doing things that we know he can do. And then Martinelli with the finishing that we know that he has when he's playing well. That was fantastic. That goal was got me off my seat. I was, oh my goodness, yes. And I'm turn the hate watches off, baby. Turn those hate watches off because it is over. It was over at 1-0, but it really was over after the 2-0. And so, yeah, I also want to go back a little bit because there were so many things in this game. There was some of the things that Timber was doing in the first half was exceptional. Some of the things that Saka was doing in the first half were exceptional. It's just we didn't have the goal to rubber stamp it, but those two were on smoke in that first half. Had Martinelli been onside, we obviously deserved to have a goal in that first half, and that would have been probably what we had deserved out of that half, especially from some of the things that Timber and Saka were doing. But another player to me that was quietly probably man of the match for me, you guys obviously let me know in the comment section who you guys have as man of the match. Zubimendi, that little twirl flick thing that he did to put the ball into Gyokeres, bruh, I was like, I was applauding, standing up applauding in my living room. Zubimendi that was the best game Zubimendi has played in an Arsenal shirt. He was fantastic. Him and Declan Rice were brilliant, but Zubimendi to me was just special in that game. And when we won the game, I think when we won the ball up high, I think that was the Martinelli goal. But it was another time where Zubimendi wins the ball aggressive up high, like he did against Leeds. That should have ended in a goal. When you think about Zubimendi, you don't think about a physical player because everybody just assumes that if you're Spanish and you're not huge or whatever, that you're weak. And he's not. We were telling you guys this before he signed when people were saying we just don't know if he's going to be able to be up to the physicality. We don't know if he's going to be too lightweight. Did he look lightweight to you today? Did he look lightweight? No, probably not. And Atletico Madrid are a physical team. They definitely know how to do dark arts and know how to flip and flop and all that kind of stuff. But one thing about them is they're going to put in a nasty challenge. And I think Zubimendi was a big reason, him and Timber, why we were so aggressive in that game. Was every time they pressured somebody, they put it on them. They put it on them. Either they got the ball or they got the ball and the player. And I think that sometimes with Timber and Zubimendi, they were unfairly refereed by the referee. Like I think the referee was soft. The referee was so soft in this game. He was calling so many soft fouls, but I think both Timber and Zubimendi were unfairly refereed in this game, but their aggression and their winning the ball up high helped us quite a bit. But I thought Zubimendi was absolutely brilliant today. And I know he didn't score a goal, and I know that little flick pass that he did to Gyokeres didn't end up being a goal, but you can see that he's getting used to playing with us and he's starting to like really get used to his position with Arsenal. Yes, he was absolutely brilliant today. I actually think this is one of Martinelli's best games in a long time as well. Not because obviously like he's been coming off on the bench and doing well, but from the beginning. But Martinelli's stage really is the Champions League stage. This is what his third goal in Champions League. He scored against Bilbao. He scored against Olympiacos and he scored again today. He scores in Champions League games. That is his thing. And like, that's not even to slight him because this is the biggest stage. This is the biggest stage outside of the World Cup. Champions League is the biggest stage. And Atletico Madrid are not like some crap team or like some team that you're just like, oh, well, they're not. Like, he did very, very well today. And so I think if people choose Martinelli as their man of the match, that would make a lot of sense to me as well because Martinelli was really good today. He was beating his man. He was super aggressive. He was winning the ball back. He looks a lot more like the Martinelli from 2 seasons ago, which is the Martinelli that we all want to see. He also probably could have been man of the match today. Saka was really good. I heard he said that. Saka's always really good. Now, the last person that I definitely want to talk about is Victor Gyokeres because he got his goal and he got a second one too. And he worked so incredibly hard today. And I think that if he had not scored today, there still would have been the conversations about he's not scoring. He's not that good? He's not this and that. But his role in the team, his role at Arsenal is significantly different than Sporting. And I think I said this in one of my last videos that with Eze and Gyokeres, they are learning to play at a higher level and in a side that does not play on the counterattack, that does have to deal with a lot of deep blocks, that has to do a lot more on the ball. Everybody has to have a bigger role on the ball. And Arteta also requires his strikers to be facilitators, and he's doing so well with all the other stuff, the pressing, the winning the ball back, the holding the ball and getting us fouls and the link up. But the goals is what was really missing. So I just think, to be honest with Gyokeres, like the goals weren't like anything particularly special, but who really cares? Because at the end of the day, he worked so hard, he deserved a goal or two. He deserved a goal or two. Like him getting on the end of that Zubimendi flick, that was just Jan Oblak being a really good goalkeeper. Like that was a really good chance that he got his toe onto and put himself, I mean, strikers do this all the time, but like put himself in like danger to like get his toe onto. So, with Gyokeres, I'm so happy that he got 2 goals today just to kind of like, I don't know if he was unsettled. He didn't look unsettled to me. He didn't look like somebody that was crumbling under the pressure. He looked maybe a little bit frustrated that he wasn't scoring, but not like he was, he wasn't sulking or anything. and his body language was saying that he was really locked into working for the team, which he did so much of that today, which I'm glad that he was rewarded with those goals, right place, right time. Who really cares how they happen? You know, a goal is a goal is a goal is a goal is a goal, right? And so I think Gyokeres as well, had a really good game that was capped off by GA, so maybe things will just, like, settle down with him, but all in all, people came on as well, and I thought they did okay. I thought Ethan was pretty good when he came on. I thought Mascara was really good when he came on. We got to see Norgard, he exists, all that kinda stuff, so, yeah, it was a really, really good game today, especially the second half, and Arsenal have been the topic of conversation more than they should be based on where we are, just constant conversation about set pieces. But, if set piece ends up being our reliable goal scorer, if set piece is actually the number nine that we always wanted, then it is what it is. Instead of people being, I guess, more focused on how Arsenal are doing it and how almost revolutionary it is, because a team scoring at this clip from set pieces is like by fluke. It's because they're really good at it. But instead of focusing on why it's so good and why it's so different and why it's interesting, they're focused on, "Oh, but they're killing the game and they're doing this and they're doing that." And it's just like, at the end of the day, a goal is a goal. It all counts the same. And the second goal that we scored won't get spoken about because the first goal that we scored was a set piece, but that was as good of a goal as you'll see in the Champions League round. I haven't seen what PSG did, but that was a brilliant goal. If that was a Barcelona or PSG goal, that second goal would be talked about, but it won't get spoken about because the first goal that we scored was a set piece, and we're set piece FC, ole, 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 which, yes, we are, and you wish you could do it as well. Do it then. But we also scored from open play, and the goals that we scored from open play were fine too. So, yeah, I'm happy about today. Like, who wouldn't be? I'm I can't wait to rewatch, especially the second half. I can't wait to see the comps and stuff. And there were so many good performances that it's hard to choose a man of the match. It really is. Saka, Timber, Zuby, Martinelli. So many good performances out there today. Didn't really give anything away. Only Raya was trying to give it away, and that didn't even happen. So, yeah. But a set piece a day will keep the hate watchers away. Will keep the hate watchers in absolute turmoil. Because I know if you watched that second half, you were pissed. As a rival, you were pissed. And I hope you were, because hate watching in the group stages, shame on you. Shame on you. But yeah, let me know who you guys' man of the match was for the game. And also anything about my analysis. If you think it was crap, tell me in the comments. If you think it was great, tell me in the comments. If you have just want to say hello, say it in the comments. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.